This is what's coming. 26 degrees right now in Natchez, 55 in New Orleans, 63 in Houma. That's a 30 to 40 degree spread there in a very short amount of distance, and that is what's moving in later on tonight, and it's going to be with us for a couple of days. Now, when you look at radar, we do have some light patchy drizzle developing out towards the river parishes, and we've got some light freezing rain and ice back towards Houston. Houston had a big mess this morning with ice, and this is what's got our attention. That's what we're going to be watching later on tonight. As that cold air moves in, there's some moisture coming in with it. I want to give you a parish-by-parish breakdown. I know you all love this. It helps you get a little bit more detailed look at the forecast where you live. Let's start with the North Shore. Now, every parish on the North Shore, and including Pearl River County, does have a chance to see some light freezing drizzle tonight. That's going to start after sunset, going through the midnight hour or so, and it doesn't have to be anything heavy to cause a few slick spots on bridges and overpasses. So we could have some areas of patchy ice tonight and early tomorrow morning. You definitely want to be extra careful and check the roads before you get on them tomorrow morning. Hard freeze tonight and a hard freeze tomorrow night. That's the pipe bursting weather. So that's what you need to be doing right now, taking precautions for that hard freeze tonight and again tomorrow night. Now here in the metro, it's a very, very tricky forecast. One, we have this giant lake that's sitting in the 50s right now. That's always a wrench in a winter forecast. And if enough cold air can come in with that moisture, there is a low chance we see some freezing drizzle in the metro, but that chance still looks rather low. I'm not saying it's zero, but it seems more likely that it's a cold rain. Once again, before you get on the roads tomorrow morning, check in just to be sure. We have a light freeze tonight for the city, but a hard freeze coming in tomorrow night. So any pipe problems for New Orleans, Kenner, Metairie, or anywhere in between, that's going to be for tomorrow night. That's when you need to drip the pipes and things like that. Now, the river parishes, there is a slightly higher chance of a light freezing drizzle tonight for your areas. A little colder out here. Patchy ice is possible on elevated surfaces. Light freeze tonight out here in the river parishes, but a hard freeze tomorrow night. So once again, a hard freeze is when you got to protect those pipes, the plants, and don't forget about your pets and people as well. Bayou parishes from Houma north, Thibodaux, Raceland, Lockport, right in here we see pink. That's where there's a slightly higher chance of some freezing drizzle. Once again, just some patchy ice possible tomorrow morning. You have a light freeze tonight, but you have a hard freeze tomorrow night. That's the Bayou parishes, and let's go into eastern St. Bernard and down into Plaquemines. You're probably just going to deal with rain in these spots. Cold air is not going to reach you fast enough, so just a cold rain there. Light freeze tonight. Hard freeze potential is there tomorrow night, but if you're closer to the Gulf of Mexico, you're probably going to stay with a light freeze on both days. And the Mississippi coast, if you live north of I-12, light freeze and hard freeze are in the forecast for you tonight and tomorrow night. There is a chance for some light freezing drizzle up here, especially near I-12, I-10 and to the north of I-10, and that's where you could see some patchy ice. Once again, that's mainly north of the I-10 corridor. Very tricky forecast. I've got this little hatch zone drawn in here because ice is still possible in and around Houma, New Orleans, Slidell, Biloxi if the cold air moves in faster. If it doesn't, then we're stuck with a cold rain, and you're talking a difference in 1 and 2 degrees here. That makes a whole difference in the forecast. So make sure you're checking in once again tomorrow morning before you head out the door.